So Mother's Day is around the corner and you want to buy a gift for mom, or you're the mom and you want to treat yourself with a delicious new perfume. I've got a top 10 list of designer feminine ladies fragrances, and I'm going to tell you all about them coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. We're talking about Mother's Day fragrance gift options or ideas from the world of the designers. I've got 10 fragrances here, mostly from this year and late last year. So these are recent launches. And it's a ranked list today. I've got 10 of them for you. I bought these myself and I've tested them out and I've enjoyed them. And again, I wanted to do a ranked list and also provide designer options for you guys. I am gifting my mom a perfume. It is sort of a designer. It's an Estee Lauder fragrance that she fell in love with. It's Radiant Mirage. So don't tell her that's what I'm getting her. But I do give her a lot of perfume. So let's get started with the list. We're starting off with a fragrance from the house of Chloe. This is NOMADE Nuit d'Egypte. This one right here. So interesting that I've ranked this at the bottom of the list. I tested it out in Europe, in France actually, and I actually liked it then, but as I'm comparing it to the rest of the collection here, it's ranked low. For some strange reason, I don't like it as much as I enjoyed it when I first tested it out. But it's that combination of sweet notes, resins, orange blossom. It's tried and true combo of notes, but you know, they've done a good job with it. I don't know the series of fragrances in this NOMADE collection, but this particular one is the first one I've actually purchased and I enjoyed. Again, it's ranked lower than everything else, but I think it's a pleasant fragrance. It's featuring orange blossom, myrrh, cinnamon, ginger, vanilla, Opoponax, Cypriol, Kyphi, and Broom. So flowers, resins, it's ambery, it's spicy, and it's floral at the same time. Let me know if you've tried this. And what are the other fragrances in this collection? On this side, it says NOMADE. On this side, it says Chloe. And yeah, let me know what the other fragrances in that series smell like. Let's move on to Narciso Rodriguez. I recently did a video on this and also the male, not counterpart, but male version that was released at the same time this came out. This is Musk Nude for Her from Narciso Rodriguez, created by Sonia Constant. This previous fragrance was created by Juliette Karagueuzoglou. I believe she's with IFF. Sonia Constant is with Givaudan. So this is the first Narciso Rodriguez fragrance that I've purchased, except for a vintage version of the very first Narciso Rodriguez for Her fragrance. So I'm starting off with a bit of a dud kind of. Once again, it's not my all-time favorite, so it's ranked lower. But I know this collection has a lot of great offerings. And when I did my video of this and Vetiver Musk, a lot of you mentioned which fragrances to try. So I need to dig into this house further. But this particular flanker of the For Her series seems to be going into a sweet orange blossomy direction with additional white flowers, spices, and some warmer notes and things like that. When I did my video, it did remind me a little bit of the Sonia Constant created Noir Extreme. There was also a femme version from Tom Ford. So there's some light hints of something like that in here. But this to me is more like a musk. It's a cleaner, more ethereal, a bit more transparent wearing than something like the Noir Extreme. But it's pink pepper, white flowers, musk, rose, orange blossom, tonka, cedar, and patchouli. Have you tried this one? Do you enjoy it? Do you like this series? Let me know which ones are great. Put a comment down below so we can find out. Next, another great gift item here. I think these are all really great. There's a reason why I have them. I don't usually buy a lot of designer fragrances, so I have them because they're great designer offerings. I don't buy every single designer fragrance because I don't really enjoy most of them. But this one, Elixir de Parfum from the Gucci Guilty series, Parfum. They really milked the Gucci Guilty series, Parfum and for Homme. But I feel like these are highly concentrated takes on the originals with some new, directions they went to. This features notes of Wisteria Accord, Mandora, Vanilla Absolute, Tonka, Rose, and Violet Accord. It's a floral once again. It's a combination of fruits and flowers. It's a fruity floral designer offering, which eventually warms up with the vanilla and Tonka. And then you've got rose and a violet in here as well. Is it the best fragrance? I don't think so. I feel like in the duo of launches here in the green bottle for men, I felt that fragrance was a little better than the feminine fragrance. But still, I think if you like the idea of these notes together, the flowers, the fruits, and the warm notes, violets and things like that, this should satisfy. And it's also fairly intense, the Elixir de Parfum. So it's a parfum concentration called Elixir de Parfum. So let me know if you've already tried this particular fragrance and what your thoughts are on Gucci Guilty Elixir de Parfum pour Femme. That is a mouthful, right? It's Gucci Guilty Elixir de Parfum pour Homme and Gucci Guilty Elixir de Parfum pour Femme. Long names for these fragrances. Next up, another fragrance that is a part of a collection of fragrances. It's not the very first fragrance. This is a flanker of the original Libre. This is YSL Libre L'Absolute Platine. So it comes in this kind of like platinum kind of silver bottle. And the fragrance is going to wear like that. It's quite metallic here. They're using aldehydes, or it features aldehydic notes in here, and so it has a kind of a metallic edge to it. In addition to the aldehydic notes, they have lavender, orange blossom, and musk accord. And I believe the original fragrance is about warmer notes with orange blossom, so they've taken the fragrance into a completely different direction. For me, this one also hints at a little bit of Metallique from the house of Tom Ford, which is now discontinued, by the way. So if you like the idea of that and you want something different than that because you already have that, but you like the whole aldehydic touch, this might be a great fragrance. If you know what your mom likes or something, she's into the aldehydes and flowers, and, this would be a great, a gift option. But I have heard some negative things about this one, mostly about the sharpness and how it becomes very metallic on certain people. So be warned. But I kind of like that in this particular fragrance because in the end, there's warmer notes. It softens up that kind of sharpness. Anyway, this is YSL Libre L'Absolute Platine. Let me know if you're a fan of that one. This next one is another fragrance I recently spoke about. This is ZADIG and Voltaire's This Is Really Her, this one right here. There was a This Is Really Him, This Is Really Her. Let's hope that they stop the collection with This Is Really Her. This is Sidonie Lancesseur, featuring notes of pink berries, pink basil, metallic rose, chestnut accord, labdanum, patchouli, and sandalwood. For me, when I tested this out on camera, because it was a first impressions, and after I shot the video, I left everything here and I walked out, came back. I noticed how strong everything smelled. The fragrance is fairly potent. It's a eau de parfum intense is what they call it. And it does have quite intense qualities about it. And for me, it's a rosy take on the original DNA, which was kind of milky sandalwood. So they've thrown in a bit, and also the chestnuts, which is prominent here, the chestnut accord. So they've given you a rosy gourmand in the end. I quite like the smell. It's pretty intense and smells delicious. If you like rose gourmand fragrances, ambery rose fragrances, you might want to try this one. It's quite different than the original because the original doesn't have that kind of distinct rose smell. It's more kind of a milky whipped cream chestnut sandalwood thing. A bit musky, or maybe a lot musky from what I remember. This, they've thrown in the rose, and it does create a very rosy quality. So it's a rose bomb, I would say. But I think Sidonie Lancesseur did a great job. So this is ZADIG and Voltaire's This Is Really Her. This next fragrance from the house of Mugler, the latest flanker to Alien. This is HYPERSENSE. This one right here. Are you familiar with this one? The original came out in the early 2000s, originally created by Dominique Ropion. He's actually done a flanker of this, which is quite nice, but I should say it's not as potent as the original when the original first came out. There is something light about the fragrance, and even though it's an eau de parfum, it is freshened up. There's a freshness about it. And in here, I think it's a fruity floral once again. We've got jasmine, which is signature or the trademark for the original Alien, and they've thrown in a pear accord or a note of pear. So there's definitely that fruitiness that comes in contrast with the jasmine sambac that's in here. So this is not Alien Goddess. Alien Goddess has the overdose of vanilla, so it's more of like a solar floral warm beachy fragrance, I would say. continuing with the jasmine or jasmine sambac, but here it's mostly about the jasmine with musky notes. There's a lot of musky ambery touches in this one when it's drying down, especially since there's cashmeran, but it has enough freshness to make it not very intense. So I would say this is an eau de parfum fragrance to wear in the summertime because there's the green mandarin here and the pear, which freshens things up. And of course, jasmine to me is a fresh note, fresh floral note. So the fragrance wears very fresh. So you can totally get away with wearing this in the summertime. I think it'll make a great Mother's Day fragrance as well because, you know, it's May, we're headed to summer. And I think this will satisfy a mom that's into the idea of jasmine sambac. This is Alien Hypersense from the house of Mugler. So I recently found out that finally Mugler is coming out with an Amen flanker. Stay tuned to find out more about that. But next, going to the house of Dolce & Gabbana. I don't speak a lot about this brand, but I do quite enjoy this particular fragrance. This is Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion, this one right here. So Devotion is an Olivier Cresp creation, and it sort of reminds me of his Acro fragrance, Bake. Are you familiar with Bake? Are you familiar with Acro? Acro is a house started by the daughter of Olivier Cresp, and they were focusing on addictions, fragrances inspired by addictions, but I think that's changed now. And they launched Bake last year, and then right after they launched Bake, this came out, and I thought it had similarities, and it sure does. It's not identical. You can tell this is more of a designer. The types of notes they use in designer fragrances are not as quality as the notes they use in niche fragrances, but there definitely are similarities. This is candied lemons, vanilla, panna cotta, orange blossom, and rum. It's quite delicious though. I like the idea of a citrusy take on gourmands. It's a great combination. I really love lemony cakes. I love them. A lemon chiffon cake, lemon tarts, everything like that sounds delicious because I'm a lemon lover. I love lemons. So if you throw in lemons in desserts, they will taste great. And here, that's what we've got. But you also have the orange blossom here to accentuate the whole lemony kind of candied lemons against vanilla and panna cotta combo. It's a quite delicious fragrance from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. It's Devotion. If your mom is into sweet fragrances, she would definitely like those. Some of these fragrances, we've got a nice combo of floral. I think a lot of these fragrances do tend to get sweet. Sweet fragrances are popular and gourmands are totally in. So some of these most of these kind of go into a gourmand direction. Next, going to the house of Tom Ford. It's Cafe Rose, the 2023 edition. Have you gotten your nose on this one? So it's a remake of the original, and this is a rose bomb. I think moms tend to really enjoy rose. My mom enjoys rose, although she's a patchouli person like me. She's an Mugler Angel fan. But she would enjoy something like this. This is basically a signature line take on the original. So there are some slight changes. The formula has changed a little bit, but it's mostly the same idea. It originally used to be a unisex offering. Now they've put it in this bottle. And I believe they came out with a spokeswoman model. And so they've made the fragrance a feminine targeted release. Created by Antoine Lee. Bulgarian rose, cardamom, coffee, ylang ylang, coriander, frankincense, patchouli, sandalwood, and Turkish rose. So lots of rose in this one. It's a rose bomb. Very spicy. A bit chypre-like because that patchouli comes in. And of course, you've got some smoky touches and spices. Don't forget the coffee. It's one of the first coffee rose fragrances. I guess it was almost bordering gourmand. It's not quite a gourmand for me. Just has that kind of coffee take on a rosy fragrance experience. I enjoy it. I prefer the original maybe a little better. But you know what? Since I bought this and it's gotten matured in its bottle, it's gotten a little better. So I'm enjoying it. So this is Cafe Rose from the house of Tom Ford. Next, going to the house of Burberry, it's Goddess. So Goddess came out last year, and I feel like they did such a great job with this one. I absolutely love the combo of lavender and vanilla. Don't forget Caron pour un homme de Caron. Vanilla, amber, and then lavender. Here is a feminine take on that idea, and it's such a delicious fragrance. There's definitely custardy, creamy qualities in here, but it's a lot of the aromatic and herbal touches of the lavender against the gorgeous, smooth, and delicious tasting vanillic touches that in here. It says trio of vanilla, so they've got multiple types of vanillas in here against an overdose of lavender. The lavender, I guess I shouldn't say is as much as the vanillas that are in here, but there's quite a bit of it and you'll definitely notice it. And for me, both vanilla and lavender and fragrances are very soothing and calming. So this is definitely a very relaxed experience when you're wearing it, but it's super, super delicious. It's really, really great. One of my favorite offerings for the ladies from the last year. Absolutely wonderful. As you can see, this is Burberry Goddess from the House of Burberry. Have you tried that one yet? And then I'm going to end the list with this fragrance. I think it's definitely a winner. It is super, super amazing. This is also a discovery in France. I was shocked at how great it is and also a bit on the unisex side, reminding me a little bit of DHI or Dior Homme Intense or Dior Homme Parfum. This is from the House of Lancôme, La Vie est Belle Extrait. This one right here. Created by Dominique Ropion and Flipo, and they did such a great job with this one. If you are a woman and you've enjoyed Dior Homme Intense or the whole Dior Homme DNA, not the Dior Homme 2020, which is woods and cedar. The one I'm talking about is the one that's iris forward. Then if you've enjoyed that DNA, you're most likely going to enjoy this one. It's not quite the same, but the iris in here reminds me of the iris in Dior Homme. Mostly the Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum is what I wear. But this has oud, iris pallida, frankincense, red fruits, damask rose, bergamot. It is so gorgeous. It's also extrait de parfum, so it's long lasting, it's intense. But none of these fragrances, even though some are extrait de parfum or elixirs or parfum concentration, they're not like beast mode. They're designers. They're never meant to be that way. But this is pretty potent, great longevity, and it smells fantastic. You got that whole DHI or DHP DNA with a little oud thrown in, with a little frankincense. There's like fruitiness that comes in. Wonderful offering. And this would be a gift that I would buy my mom. In fact, I probably should, because she loves fragrances like this. So anyway, this is Lancôme's La Vie est Belle Extrait. The line is full. There's so many flankers, but this, they did a great job. I mean, we've got two master perfumers working over at IFF, creating a really fine quality designer fragrance. And I think it would make a great gift for a mom. Anyway, La Vie est Belle Extrait. Let me know if you've tried any of these fragrances. What do you think? If you're a mom, do you enjoy wearing fragrances? Will you gift yourself a perfume, or are you going to be waiting for your husband or your children to gift you a perfume? Let me know, put a comment down below. And I wanted to change it up this year. I've done a lot of floral Mother's Day floral fragrance videos. I went to the designer route because a lot of you are asking me about the designer route. I mean, the fragrances that are designers and things like that. So I wanted to do a video on some of my favorite designer fragrances for the ladies. And I thought I'd combine it in this video. But don't worry, I've got a video coming for the guys as well. I've got a ranked list of some of the most recent men's fragrances that have been launched that I've got. So stay tuned for that video. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on these fragrances and have you tried them and do you enjoy them? Or maybe you hate some of these fragrances. Put a comment down below so I can find out. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. And happy Mother's Day if you're a mom or to your mom. See you later. Bye.